we need to make the right decisions, Lord. And Father, I just pray that your kingdom come and your will be done in all things, Father. Bring you glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
This is a regular meeting of the Henry County Board of County Commissioners being held on Tuesday, March 28, 2017 at 5 p.m. in the Commission Chambers in Mobile, Florida. In attendance are Chairman Michael Swindle, Vice Chair Darrell Harris, Commissioner Emma Bird, Commissioner Carson Turner, Commissioner Mitchell Wills, County Administrator Charles Chapman, County Attorney Mark Leff, Clerk Barbara Buck.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First item on the agenda is bids, is ITV 2017-12. Attorney Lapp.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the board, we have put those out for bid. We just got one response. So there's a couple different ways you could go. You could rebid it to get more responses, or two, you could accept the one that's been filed, and I would suggest a shorter term contract in a year, like 6 months, go out to rebid, because more responses in the past. So that's my recommendation.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to award, next item, do a 10-month renewal, and request that the vendor and the county attorney and the county administrator all sit with each other and try to make sure that the shortcomings that we are experiencing on our end are met in the interim.
Okay.
So everybody can feel good about it.
Motion brought forth and second to accept the bid for a 10-month contract, and with understanding that leadership sit and make sure all shortcomings have been ironed out and understood on both parts. Is that acceptable?
Don't we always get two responses?
Well,
Since we only got 2 pages?
right, and Calista News publisher says she didn't receive the email. I can't.
So you don't do it, is everything emailed? You don't?
Well, we put it on our website too, so it was sitting on our website, and it was emailed. We didn't publish it in the paper because that's, kind of a new.
They've been having some other issues on it through the school system. We're having trouble reaching them. They're not returning calls, numbers disconnected. So I think there's some other issues going on website-wise there. Okay, motion moved by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Harris. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. On consent, Commissioner Turner, do you have anything to be taken off consent?
No, sir, make a motion to approve.
Okay, we do have, before we do that, we need to pull item B3, and we're going to table item D1. So that's B3 and D1. Is there a motion for balance?
Motion for the balance will table certain to win on the prisoner maintenance contract.
Okay. Okay. Motion moved by Commissioner Turner, seconded by Commissioner Harris. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Commissioner Wills, you want to discuss B3?
Yes, sir. We actually have County Engineer Shane Parker, Mr. Parker did a study on the speed and felt on Loop Road. We determined the speed, according to the DOT, could be raised to 50 miles an hour. After a meeting with the residents, they had requested to put it at 45 if possible. They were worried about the old 5 mile an hour overrule coming into play, and they thought if we kept it at 45, we'd be safe.
Yeah.
So I'd like to request we could put it at 45 miles an hour.
Second. Okay. Motion moved by Commissioner Wills to make it 45 miles per hour, and seconded by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion?
I'm only doing that because his prayer was so dynamic.
Yeah, that was. No further discussion. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next is public hearings, and we're going to listen to VA 17-0001. Mr. David Galloway. Ms. Embley?
But before you start, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
Attorney Lapp, is there anything out of line or inappropriate with us making a recommendation to approve said and then listen to the public and then hear and I mean, unless
Wait, say that again? Approving it first?
approving,
What?
no, making a motion, listening.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has any
Yeah.
hold up on this. It seems kind of logical. It seems like it was a great presentation that was in our board book.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Required
Motion moved by Commissioner Turner, seconded by Commissioner Harris to approve. Any discussion from the board? This is a public hearing.
If you have any questions of staff, I'm available.
The only quick question I have, and just logic, is on the piece that they were requesting, it's a drainage ditch behind it, right? It'll never be developed, there won't anyone be encroaching near it or
That's
anything,
correct.
right? Yeah,
It's
so,
a grain belt.
yeah, right, so,
Party.
right, exactly. Okay, just to be clear.
Okay?
Does any members of the public wish to address this issue? Okay, seeing none, members of the board, any further discussion? All those in favor of this motion say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next is engineering. Mr. Shane Parker. Oh, no, I'm sorry, correspondence. Any questions under engineering updates?
Just one
Code
quick.
enforcement? Go ahead.
Shane, on Flaghole Road, is everything moving along? Have you had any hiccups? Where are we at? What's our estimated time of completion?
For the record, Shane Parker, Henry County Engineer. I believe we're on schedule. I don't see any problems that we've had. We anticipate paving in April, May. Everything's moving along.
I don't know, they've already pulled the base mat, so.
There will still be at least one layer put everywhere, right? I mean, there's a tremendous amount of, yeah.
There's one more layer of asphalt that's going in with a few turnouts, and then we've actually are adding to this project, extending the turnouts right there at that little deli or station,
Yes, sir.
because we need to replace a culvert. We're gonna do that. It looks like Rafter's gonna do all 3 entrances. I think he has 2 or 3 entrances. We're gonna pave all that. So, moving on schedule.
Awesome, good.
Shane,
Real quick, yeah.
I'm sorry, have any of the residents said anything to you?
Yes.
Because they came to me and I explained to them that once you did the patching, that you would do the layering.
Yes, we've had, people mad thinking that the patches is all we were gonna
Right.
do. Then another one was mad because the road was, we put the patches in and we milled it out and paved back. But the purpose of that was we had to do the base repairs and we paved it back, and then they fell back later and went through and milled everything out. So we had a few people complaining. Another one called DOT complaining that we didn't finish the job, which was not true. We
Still
were working
working.
shoulders.
Good halftime.
I don't know, I mean, if y'all think it's not correct protocol, then by all means, let's not do it, but maybe just a blurb on our Facebook page or something, just, a general update. Is still, months of work, to take place.
And what if they're not quite sure the procedure, because I wasn't, so I asked Shane. So
That's one way of putting it. Another way would be a little bit more aggressive. It's just amazing how quickly misinformation perpetuates itself, and poor misinformation seems to spread like wildfire sometimes. So, I mean, when I designed Flaghole Road,
Yeah.
I just did a little cap, a 1 inch layer, and my whole plan was just to get reelected.
Right.
So, I didn't know I did that.
Right.
So, but,
I was there that meeting.
yeah, you were at that meeting. I appreciate you, Commissioners. So, but I'm glad Ajax is getting it done. When do we anticipate State Road 80? Those have been
Those
let?
have been let, that's my understanding, they selected a contractor. I don't know who the contractor is. I've got to call into to DOT to find out when their actual construction start date's going to commence. They've already started
Yeah.
utility relocation.
Yeah, they're doing.
It's Ajax. I'm pretty sure it's Ajax.
They started utility, they've been doing utility relocation for some time.
Property line, utility has already been moved, yeah, they're awesome, they're getting it.
That's a huge infrastructure project, and that's great for the county, so.
It'll be both segments at
Yes,
one
sir.
time. I think it's almost 3 years.
Yes, sir.
So we may see earthwork in September,
Possibly so.
that'd be awesome, and then 3 years, so,
Should be done.
okay.
Before, the scheduled completion is before the end of 2020, but they're saying they're gonna be done.
I believe it, I believe it.
I
While
think
you're
the
there.
information, that information out is important.
Yes, sir.
I've got 5 or 6 calls last week, the same thing on the road,
Yeah.
where they were doing the exact same thing, so the more information we can get out, the
They
better.
visit my house and I don't even live in it.
If you send out information, road, you can't go to the post office.
That's what I got called on last week. Why would you do this? Well, they're preparing, getting ready. But the same thing.
Still got the patch.
We don't have to do maintenance until we do the project.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Mr. Chair, I think that, with the relationship that he has with District 1, we could probably get an update from the DOT, on their formal letterhead that we could just copy and paste to ours.
Once the new
Yeah.
That'd be great, that'd be great.
But it's on there, it's on the district DOT, because I mean, I was looking at it the other day, and Quality Electric was asked to bid on a couple things, we don't do street lighting, so.
Real quick update on the courthouse.
Courthouse. We did a substantial completion walkthrough, probably about 2 weeks. They've got a punch list of items they gotta fix. And then once they get that, we'll do a final walkthrough. They got 30 days to complete it.
Great, great. Major lifting's done then. Roofs
Major
good,
lifting's
walls.
done. They had to do some door flashing. They had, a couple areas of the tar paper and screw it, some marble slabs in the hallway. But overall, it was done. Windows were done. Underneath, they had to do some wire management, a little bit of cleanup, but basically, a couple concrete slabs had to be replaced that they missed.
So you're satisfied?
I'm satisfied with what I saw. I'll be satisfied now when the punch list is done.
Well,
That's
let
when
me
I'll be
ask,
satisfied.
speaking to that point, we're not a revolving door punch list county, are we? I mean,
No.
when you submit your initial, does it stay the initial punch list?
That, on the substantial completion, that is the punch list.
Yeah.
Unless they make that repair and then they do that wrong,
Then,
or something glaring comes to light, but no, we do it all then. We check everything and we're done.
the reason why I ask is just, it's a philosophical difference in belief in the leadership of our company, and I think that we should always fight DOT whenever we have a CEI or EOR that's given us a punch list. It's a living document, and by the red book, we don't have to do that, or by the purple book, actually, by DOT, we don't have to do that, but that's just the way we operate. I just want to make sure our county's not doing that also, that's huge,
Usually
that
we
you guys are
provide
giving me one
guidance
item.
through the construction project, like, we'll tell you up front, this is what we're gonna be looking for, particular, and then if we see something wrong, we'll let you know then, like, why does that look like that, or whatever, when we do inspections.
Yes, sir.
But on the substantial, that's it, we do walk the whole place, that's it, that's what you have to do.
Also, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to hear, Shane, you just said two things that were very subtle, but they were very big with regards to, we're working in the project the entire time the project's going on to make sure we're not sitting back idly and saying, oh, they're screwing that up, but we're gonna wait until they get it done. And then we can say, guys, you messed up there, you shouldn't have done that, because it really does just no one any good, and it runs the taxpayers' cost up. So I'm glad y'all are proactive on that, not reactive. Thank you.
Good job. While you're there, we'll go ahead and do the
Sure.
first staff report. We're gonna, staff report number 1, the back vision's been pulled. We're gonna move on to number 2, solid waste and SDU.
Just a matter of, I don't ever want to do a piggyback. I'd rather do a standalone, but that's just my personal preference. I'd rather know what y'all think, but that's been pulled, so we'll talk about it later.
Okay. So that one's cool. Number 2 is the solid waste commence for you, permission to issue a request for proposal for collection and disposal of solid waste and recyclables. As the board's aware, we have a 7-year contract. We have the option to renew, mutually agreeable. I think it's mutually agreeable. If not, it's our option to enter into it. And after getting some thought, getting some feedback from the contractor, and looking at the rates, we have received a considerable amount of interest from other parties. I mean, I don't know how they know what's up, but they know what's up. They get hit all the time. And I'd like permission to issue a request for proposal for that service and see if we can get better rates countywide, or if not, then they can bid the same, and maybe somebody else will bid higher and they'll get it again. But you'll never know unless you put it on the street. So, and my idea would be to, if the board elects to proceed down that route and not renew the contract and issue the RFP, staff would meet internally, and then we'd bring back the options. I think there's only 2 commissioners, and Commissioner Harris was here when we did the last request for proposal. We had options that we were looking for bid prices on, there was presentations, and there was a ranking system. Want to get all that ironed out at a later date if we choose to go down this path. Well, if you choose to go down this path.
Okay.
That's basically it.
All right. Any
Where'd you come up with the 7 year?
It's in the contract.
So the next one can be any amount.
The next renewal is 7 years.
if we stick with it.
Yeah, we stick with
But if we go to RFP, it could be any
What are you
random
gonna
number.
put in there, 5 or 4?
We could decide down to 4 or 5, you gotta make sure the contractor gets his investment back.
As much money as they got in those trucks and all that?
Cans.
Yeah, they gotta have 6 or 7 at least, or 5 or something.
I wouldn't recommend going less than 7.
Yeah, to pay for it. only good thing about having the company that we've had ever since I've been on the board. They're all, most of them live in Henry County, work in Henry County. And you don't get no runarounds, no nothing. It's just day and night working with other people in our town.
Mr. Chair, I would just say that, I am more receptive to, renewing the 7-year, engaging the 7-year renewal for our, waste hauler. Making sure that you all work with them, because Shane, one of the issues that you and I spoke about has been a couple years. I mean, but the top 3 issues that I get calls on from constituents is, it's a toss between cemetery and roads, and then it's solid waste and mosquitoes. And those two, they're all in the top 4, but they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're real close, like they're receiving votes for number 1. So, I think that, our waste hauler has done a good job. I think they've actually done a way above average job on the duration that they've had. To Commissioner Harris's point with regards to them having a tremendous amount of their workforce living in Hendry, Glades County, being from here, I think that's important. To the mindset of the employees that are working there, I can just imagine the stress associated with, this is going out to bid, so on and so forth. So I would be a proponent of just exercising the renewal, and then making sure, as it relates to the claw truck and the cans being dispersed throughout the entire county, and then any shortcomings that you all know from a staff level standpoint, hearing those and making sure that we get those measurements put into place so that those items are accounted for moving forward. But my vote would be keep them, move forward. Let's have a 7-year marriage that continues down the road, and then if we want to revisit it, we can later.
That would be, it'd be a renewal, but it'd be an amendment in there to add
Yes.
those features.
Yes.
So we have to negotiate that, bring that back. I think there's only one renewal, 7 years, and it's
There it is.
Does that include recycling?
recycling's in that.
And what about the number of pickups?
The number of pickups in there, but if you're gonna change it, you amend it now. Right
Yeah.
now, it's 1 day a week pickup, 2 day a week pick trash, 1 day.
Could we do that later?
Yeah, I think that we can exercise the renewal.
Because that's gonna be a
Yeah,
savings.
absolutely.
You can amend it at any time.
And- And I don't have a problem with the point that either of you make, and you make some very valid and good points. But looking at it from the scope of the situation we know we are in with our MSBU situation financially, I don't have a single problem or complaint. The only person that calls and complains about their garbage means my mother. And I get that one a lot. But aside from that, not a single constituent has had a problem with it. A few, here and there, and they've been able to iron them out, and the company was very responsive. So I don't have a problem with the company. But do we have a fiduciary responsibility to our constituents that elected us to make sure that we are doing the right thing financially by not bidding out, or at least going through a competitive bid process?
I think we absolutely do, and I think that just from I hate to say that, in this position, a lot of times we become mini experts in a lot of different subject matter. And this is one of those ones that I've looked long and hard in, and in comparison to the growing pains that could possibly be realized, and the rate that we're paying, and the fact that if you look at our solid waste account, and you compare it to others throughout the state, especially as it relates to rural Florida, we're not paying a tremendous amount of money for the services that are being rendered. And we actually were doing such a good job through that with years, I don't want to use the word surplus, but we were running at such a good level that we cut that solid waste assessment in half.
We created the problem, right?
I think problem is a strong word. I think it's created a situation because we can roll that assessment back to where it was and be in the plus.
Even if you tweet it to 1 day out of a week, would that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would work.
I think the statistics show the problem's going to be, Ms. Bird, Commissioner Bird, is that the growing pains, and I think that if you go back to the old proposals, and we had 4 or 5 books, and they were this big, but everybody, when you wanted to go to recycling countywide, they all went to 1 day recycle pickup, 1 day solid waste pickup, because our volume doesn't make sense for them to have multiple days pickup of solid waste and a single day of recycling. recycle. They have to combine that and do one and one. And they even have some models where they were saying they would do it automated all together once done, you know. So we're gonna have constituents that are frustrated with that process. We're gonna have constituents that are gonna be angry with a bigger can, fully automated, walking it out to the curb and all that. But I think, I mean, we're not some major urban corridor, but I think if you compare us to a lot of even rural Florida, we're moving into the times that we should be. You know, and we're already doing a good job. I mean, if you look at our statistics.
Are we sure our provider will even do the 1 day?
Yeah, you do what we can.
It's part of your contract negotiation.
And,
They like to sleep.
if everybody will recycle, we can do 1 day a week. People that don't recycle, we're going to have to cram it in there. But if you recycle, you can do 2 days. And when you go to those big cans, these elderly people can't get them to the curb, but this company will take care of those people that can't get to the curb. If they have to jump off and go pull it themselves, they will do that, because they've been doing it.
And our constituency has expressed to me that they want to move to recycling, especially my outlying areas. They were frustrated when Hooker's Point and the pilot program essentially that Waste Services did, when they put the cans in Hooker's Point, and they didn't get them in Flagpole, they didn't get them in Pioneer, they wanted that. So, you know, I think we have a strong commitment from them to go countywide with the totes, or whatever they're calling that, removing the green barrels, the little ones, you know, and getting it in the uniforms and stuff.
And in the long run, it will save everybody money.
All the, even the garbage totes are not countywide though.
No,
Those
sir.
outlying don't have them.
Not the
I would like to
large,
see.
not the large recycling
Right.
containers.
No, there's some places that have none, right?
That's exactly right, there's no blue or recycling.
They have the small containers, but, I mean.
Something else to keep in mind too, is if you're getting a good service, don't mind paying a little more for it. In the situation that you switch service now, who's to say we may get a cheaper service, or we may get way less service. I haven't heard anything negative about the service. So the cheapest bid is not always the best bid. I think we've learned that in the past through the situations we've been through. So I believe the constituents' thought is, do the best you can to make sure I get the best for what I'm paying. And I believe that's what we're all looking at there.
When you check at the end, it will.
Right, exactly.
They like to sleep. He raised his hand. Again,
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Jim Wheatley with Progressive Waste Solutions, formerly WSI, and we're here tonight to encourage the renewal of the 7-year contract. And we will work you any way you can. If you want to do one day recycling, one day trash, that's something we can do. So we've been here for 25 years. We have 25 full-time employees, and we're ready to work with you as we've done in the past. So if you have questions on our service,
The best price possible.
best price possible.
You didn't say that, you gotta get that in.
So we're here to work with you, you know, whatever we can do.
anyone have any questions, Mr. Wheatley?
And they just always be, they was quick, you know, trying to get out there and have it.
Being part of the staff, when we needed it and called them, they were there. And that's, I can tell you from the staff point of view, we never had any issues. Anytime we needed a service, we called and they made it happen. So,
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to exercise a 7-year renewal.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Turner and seconded by Commissioner Harris to exercise a 7-year renewal with the current provider.
Change in
Discussion.
Thank you.
Can we do
Yes,
that
sir.
renewal? How do we do the renewal, so you'll have them on the hook?
Yeah.
Can we do the negotiations and bring that back as part of the renewal, like tell them you renew it, but negotiate and bring those options back?
You
Yes, sir.
You
And,
get
and it may be 2 or 3 different options that you want us
We
to
may not
review.
have, you know, try to get it all done that we want to get done and bring it back.
No, Shane, I think we're sitting the end of March. Do you anticipate with your schedule you could have that back before us the end of April, or is that you like to go the 1st of May?
We have till July.
Do you want to go? You want to go to end
We
of
got
May?
to October. We got
October,
to-
we got plenty of
Do you want to
time.
go end of May?
Okay, end of May.
Okay, so we're here, whatever option staff is gonna bring back to us, I mean, they're in the trenches, they're on it day to day, you know, they have an idea. And then I think as a commission, we can talk with staff on individual, I mean, I go back to the claw truck, when we removed that service, granted, we saved $250,000 a year. But, you know, I've shared with Shane what I think we ought to do. I've shared with Charles, you know, I think we ought to have a giant brush pile on either side of the county that we have a mulcher and it grinds that stuff up and we almost make that a community mulch pile. You know, but that, I don't know if Shane's gonna be receptive to that, but that's something I'd love for us to consider and make our waste hauler bring that to us on a quarterly basis, whatever. I think that's an easy thing to deal with. It's gonna make our constituency happy. It's going to render a service that they lost, that they were getting, and it's gonna be a win-win for everybody. And there's two or three little things like that we can do.
Well, the phone calls I get, the guy's 87 years old, and he's got to saw all the limbs like this big. He has a heart attack.
Time of it.
He can't do it.
Okay. Awesome. Any further discussion?
Then be the recycling discussion too.
Recycling, yes, because that'll be a good discussion, because they'll have 7 years to figure out how to pay for the cans and not.
And that'd be,
All right.
it'd be a one pickup and a two pickup.
That's,
Bring in options.
I'll bring an option.
Yeah, bring in options. No further discussion on the motion to move forward with the 7-year renewal discussion and options from the current provider. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. And next time my mama complains, I'm gonna tell her to call Mr. Weekly. Got his number, yeah, okay.
Commissioner Hires has called me.
Got it. Okay, contract with KCSS.
Yes, I provided a contract, we finished negotiations with KCCS.
I'll make a motion to accept the scope of work. Conversation made.
Motion moved by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Wills. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Vote, clock, discussion.
Just for the record, we negotiated $156,120. It's a not to exceed contract, that's the one I put out. It was
Okay.
not in the board packet. It's subject to county attorney and FDOT approval.
It's all DOT funded.
It can be funded by DOT via that program,
Awesome,
federal dollars.
awesome, okay. Anything else? Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to table the migrant housing, rental housing agreement, time certain, assemblage, end of April? Or do you want to go next week? What do you want to do?
Well, I had asked, Debbie McNeil from the city of Clueston, who's involved with their rental inspection program, to come to our next meeting for a presentation.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't have to be at the next meeting, it's what your preference is.
Well, if she's gonna have that conversation though,
If she's
y'all want to just marinate on it and then think about it, or do you want to have that conversation and then we'll delve
Better
into it?
wait to do it in April.
Okay.
Month
End of
away.
April.
All right. Motion table.
Motion moved by Commissioner Turner, the table of motion, second by Commissioner Harris. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Attorney Lett, do you have anything good of the whole?
No, sir.
Okay. Hearing of the public, do any members of the public wish to address the board at this time? Seeing none. Business by district. Commissioner Wilson, anything?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to commend staff on the job they've been doing in the districts. I've had a meeting with a community meeting down in Felda that Monday, and they had a lot of very nice things to say about how staff's been working with them and working closely with them to get the situations there. So I believe staff, it needs to be, it was told in the private, it needs to be told publicly. They're doing a great job of it.
Good. Yep. They don't get enough credit for what they
No,
do.
sure they don't.
Or pay or credit for. So we gotta do what we can.
Yes.
I wanted to bring back to the board's attention, Janet Taylor's auditorium. I went down and I did a survey through there, and they're planning on hiring another body, but they really don't have the space. At the last meeting, we was talking about their space, but there's not adequate space to bring on someone else. So I don't know if anybody, they wanted to extend where the driver license office is.
Oh, okay.
And,
In Clueston?
In
Okay,
Clueston, and I did a walk through there, and for them to put another body there, there's not space, so I'm gonna ask the board, they need to take the time to go down and look, Charles.
If I may, so the discussion is already underway with Mr. Langford as our tax collector, as well as with Dr. Pepe as the health department director. We're going to be meeting over the next week or two. Dr. Pepe and Mr. Langford are going to go over the blueprints, so we're going to see what kind of spatial analysis that needs to be done. Just to get right to the heart of it, it's an interlocal agreement between the state and Henry County for use of that building. So whatever we do, we've got to get the health department to sign off on an agreement. So we're getting through the minutia of getting to a solution set.
They do need help. I went to turn in one little DOT paper, and I had to wait almost 20 minutes just to pick a number and sit there just to go hand it in. So.
But they had a place to hire someone, they don't have a space to do
Nowhere to
it.
put
You know, it's just too congested.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being proactive on that. Anything else?
Yeah, I went over and checked it, that's.
It is. Yeah. You have anything to bring? Let it go. Commissioner Turner?
Looking forward to seeing everybody in Tallahassee, and I hope that we get one of our legislators and love on them. We got some good priorities that we're asking. I hope that you all will keep the Henry County Fair and Livestock Show Rodeo Arena in mind, because that is a facility that we desperately need on that end. And our request is for 1.2. 1.2. We don't have anybody that sponsored anything in the budget this year, but hopefully we can get something. So I hope that's something y'all all will share with our legislators. And you know, we have a good list. I don't think any of them are out of line, and it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. It's been ranked on the FDAX. I do not know that. I know last year it was up there.
And for the benefit of all the commissioners, staff is working on a one-page, just talking sheets of paper about what our projects are, what those number amounts, and then what pieces of legislation are out there that could present harm to us and what our position is.
Awesome. That's great.
That'll be out to you by the end of the day tomorrow at the latest.
Good, good. Okay, awesome.
Has Raymond said anything about
The
this?
amendments, language has been going through the House Ways and Means Committee right now to get a financial number for the impact of what it would do to that bill. Once we have that number, then the Majority Leader Rodriguez has given indication that he is open and willing to take the amendment and put it into the bill.
And then last thing, has anyone from staff been contacted by Trentino and or anyone representing that project, and have y'all engaged in conversations?
I have had conversations with the Economic Development Council, Mr. Brent Cutler in particular. He's working with Mr. Pelletier to get a number of what does that annual ad valorem impact look like, so that we can do the percent models to get what kind of a discount are they getting.
But has the private entity?
No, private entity has not reached out to us.
You don't already have that number? Relative?
You got a more tax abatement for audio? Yes. Right. I saw an email yesterday from the property appraiser's office giving the numbers for the ad valorem impact. It was late yesterday.
But nobody from their camp that you're aware of has been to the county to sit and say, what do we need to do to cook this cake?
The TO group has not reached out to Board of County Commissioners staff. I know they've been reaching out to the EDC, and the EDC has been working with TO and the property appraiser. And I believe TO met with the property appraiser either late last week or early this week.
Okay, good. All right. Outstanding.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
again, I also look forward next week to being with all of you in Tallahassee and doing what we can for Henry County and all the residents and both sides and throughout the county. I do want to go on record as saying, I don't know if we'll have another board meeting or not, but we're losing Ms. Waddell. Can we say that now? So, been a tremendous asset. We do have a lot of good folks in the county, and why some of them work for us, what we're able to pay, I don't know, but I've definitely appreciated her. There's been times when I was in front of a TV camera ready to throw up, and she was ready to put the TV camera guy in a headlock and give him a noogie for messing with me, so that was very comforting. So I've definitely enjoyed working with her, and so she was sorely missed. So thank you, Ms. Waddell.
Thank you.
Anything else? Meeting adjourned.